everyone, and welcome to another interactive read aloud. But before we get started, make sure you have your reading pal so he can help you through the story. Everyone say hello to Oliver. He's here joining us again. Before we get into our book, let's look at our objective for today. So students will be listening and reading along to a story as we carefully examine and try to understand the main character. Okay, so that's what we'll be doing. And we're going to do that as we read through the book Mother Bruce. And notice that instead of it saying Mother Goose, they've crossed out the goose and replaced it with Bruce. So, it makes me wonder. I wonder if Mother Bruce is going to be anything like Mother Goose. Do you remember Mother Goose, boys and girls, from the nursery rhymes that kids read? Well, you still read them, but Mother Goose is very popular in nursery rhymes. And this book is written by Ryan T. Higgins. Ryan T. Higgins is our author, and he, or maybe she, is also the illustrator. So, if I examine the cover, I see a bear and I see his eyebrow kind of squiggly. So I wonder what he might be thinking. And I see all of these little tiny goslings around him. Goslings are baby geese, by the way. You see that? Are you excited to hear this story? I am, so let's get started and see what it's all about. Here's our title page with the information I just talked about. There we see Bruce having a meal. And let's begin. Bruce was a bear who lived all by himself. He was a grump. Grump. I wonder what that means. Boys and girls, do you think you know what a grump is? Oliver, have you heard of that word before? Grump. Yeah. A grump may be somebody who gets irritated very easily. Is that what you were thinking? Are we in agreement with that? Yeah. He did not like rain. He did not like sunny days. He did not like cute little animals. I wonder what's going on with Bruce. Look at that face. He is not a happy bear. I wonder why he is so grumpy. Grumpy. Kind of like the word grump. Yeah. Always in a bad mood. Bruce only liked one thing, eggs. He collected them from all over the forest. Here he is. Good morning, Mrs. Sparrow. And there we see the bucket of eggs. But Bruce didn't eat eggs raw like other bears. Instead, he cooked them into fancy recipes that he found on the internet. So how is Bruce different from some of the bears you may have read about in stories and some of the things that you know about bears? What do you think, Oliver? What do you think, boys and girls? Turn and talk to your pal. See if he can give you ideas. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of bears eating fancy food and getting on the internet, so he definitely is different. One day, Bruce came across a recipe for hard-boiled goose eggs drizzled with honey salmon sauce. So he went out to get the ingredients. First, he caught a few salmon. Then he collected honey from a local beehive. He liked to support local business, you see. Last, he went to Mrs. Goose's nest to pay her a visit. Yeah, so he likes fancy recipes. And then if I look here, look at how he's catching his salmon. He's using a shopping cart. That is very different. Not like other bears for sure. And he's asking Mrs. Goose, are these eggs free-range organic? So yes, he's a very modern bear who likes to do things differently. At home, Bruce prepared the eggs for hard boiling. But the fire in his stove fizzled. So he went out to get more wood. When Bruce came back, he was met with an unwelcome surprise. So it says he was met with an unwelcome surprise. This is a good place to stop and predict. And if you remember, predicting is when you tell what you think is going to happen. I wonder what could be the unwelcome surprise, boys and girls. Why don't you turn and talk to your reading pal and see if you come up with an idea of what his unwelcome surprise might be. Oliver, any ideas? Wow, I think you know this story. Let's find out if your prediction is correct. Bruce became the victim of mistaken identity. Uh-oh, look at the stove. Mama, Mama, I see the little eggs have hatched and they are little goslings. Oh my gosh. They were little baby geese inside the eggs. Bruce wanted hard-boiled eggs, not goslings. He supposed he could settle for buttered goslings on toast. But for some reason, he lost his appetite. Boys and girls, why do you think he lost his appetite? And if you remember, baby geese are called goslings. So that's a new word we may be learning. And here's his breakfast. Not quite what he expected. He wanted hard-boiled eggs, but now he has toast and goslings. Why might that not be appetizing? What do you think? Ask your reading pal what he or she might think. Yeah, I think it would be pretty gross eating baby goslings, but let's find out what happens with Bruce. Bruce scooped up the little geese and stumped back to their nest, only to find that Mrs. Goose had flown south early. So here you see he put them in a shopping cart and he's talking to himself, I will have to ask Mrs. Goose about her return policy. And here we see she left a note that she will not be back until April. Oh my goodness, he has got a problem on his hand. Bruce left the goslings there anyway and went back home. But he was followed. So there they are. And what are they saying? Mama, Mama, Mama? With a question mark. Bruce was very stern and said things like, go away, and I am not your mother. And also, I liked you better when you were eggs. Okay, we can see by the things that he is saying and the expressions on his face that he must be what? What do you think his feeling is right now? I think he's pretty angry. They use the word stern, and stern is the same as being angry. Bruce could take it no longer and became extra grumpy with them. And look what he did. He roared. And look at the little goslings. They look pretty scared. Do you see them? Poor little things. They are so confused. Wouldn't you agree they're confused, boys and girls? It didn't work. Goslings always follow their mother, even if she is a he and he is a bear. So there we see he's running away from them and they're saying, Mama, Mama. Here he climbed a tree and there they are saying, Mama. And here he is walking through the woods and there they are following him. Look at his face. He just has no idea what to do. Isn't this a great book, Oliver? Bruce was stuck with them. He tried to make the best of it. Okay, so let's look at the picture. It looks like Bruce is really trying to make the best of it. Do you think Bruce's feelings about the goslings may have changed or are changing? What do you think? I think he might be changing. Agree, Oliver? Agree. Good. It was hard work. And here we see him doing all kinds of things with the little baby geese, the goslings. Here he has them in a little papoose, all 4 of them. Here they are painting and making a huge mess. He has high chairs for them. He's feeding them. And here they are, all enjoying a nice nap. It looks like they're really starting to get along, right? As the seasons passed, Bruce watched the pesky goslings grow older. So remember, they were annoying baby geese. And now they become stubborn teenage geese and boring adult geese. Then one fall afternoon, he saw other goose families flying south. Finally, he'd be rid of those geese and he could take a long winter nap. So what do you think Bruce might be thinking as he sees all of those goose families flying south, maybe for the winter? What do you think he might be thinking? This is a good time to stop and think about it. What can he be doing? Why don't you stop and ask your reading pal to help you through this? What is Bruce's plan? Let's find out. Bruce explained migration. Migration, that's a big word. Has anybody ever heard of the word migration? Think about that. Tell your reading buddy what you know, or your reading pal what you know about migration, or how you may have heard it. I think migration is when animals fly to a warmer place for the winter. And I think that's what the goose families were doing. And I think that's what he's telling his little geese that they need to do. Well, not little geese, adult geese, remember. But they didn't listen. If you see them, look at them. They're dressed for the winter. I don't think they're planning on going anywhere. They have little sweaters on and little beanies. It looks like they want to stay there. Let's find out. Bruce needed the geese to leave, so he got creative. Okay, creative. That's another word we may have not heard of. So creative, what does that mean? Think about it, boys and girls. Being creative means what? Maybe doing things in a different way? Yeah, I think so. And look at Bruce. He's definitely doing things in a different way. He's using a big old slingshot and getting ready to just sling them out into the sky. Let's see if it works. Nothing worked. The geese would not leave Bruce. So there we see he has little airplanes for them and he's ready for them to fly away. They don't leave. So he gives a great big sigh. He feels defeated. They are not going anywhere. They are just loving Bruce too much. Right, Oliver? Yeah. So Bruce decided to pack some bags and take his geese into town. They boarded a bus. Okay, so if I look at the illustrations here, I see 5 bags. And they're all sitting on a bench. So what do you think will happen next? This is a good place to stop and predict. Tell your reading pal what you think is going to happen next. 5 bags and 4 geese and Bruce sitting on a bench. What might happen next? What do you think, Oliver? Do you think they might all get on that bus? I agree with you. Let's turn the page and find out. They migrated to Miami. Wow, look at them. Now, every winter, Bruce and his geese head south together. They laze about at the beach in tacky shirts, sipping ice cold lemonade while Bruce dreams of new recipes. Recipes that don't hatch. So let's think about how Bruce changed from the beginning of the story to the end of the story. Yeah, he definitely changed. He definitely is not that grumpy bear, I should say, that we learned about on page 1. He is totally different. Look at him. He's really enjoying the sun and the beach and his drink, wearing his Hawaiian shirt. Wow. Let's see what happens next. And here, the final page. We see one of the geese dressed in his Hawaiian shirt, and look who's coming up to him, a little turtle. And he's asking, Mama? Mama? And that is the end of our story. So that was a great interactive read aloud. Once again, it's called Mother Bruce, and this too will be in our library once we get back to class. So I hope you enjoyed this story. Now let's look back at our objective and an assignment that follows. So if you remember, we were listening to the story and we were carefully examining and trying to understand the main character. Now the main character is Mother Bruce. He's our main character, so that's who we are going to write about. So in your notebook, remember, you're keeping a writing notebook. You're going to turn to the first blank page. You will write today's date. And in your notebook, write one paragraph that describes Bruce. Think about how Bruce changed from the beginning of the story to the end. Let me reread that for you. You'll turn to the first blank page. You'll put today's date. And you will begin to write one paragraph that describes Bruce. Think about how Bruce changed from the beginning of the story to the end. And remember, boys and girls, the great thing about this interactive read aloud is that it's on video, or recording, I should say. So if you need to rewind to some of the parts that help you do the assignment, that's great. That's perfectly fine. Rewind if you have to and hear the story again. And think about how Bruce has changed. I hope you enjoyed Mother Bruce, and we will see each other very soon. Bye-bye.